Hey, what is up, gang? OCD Mikey, Hi-Fi Guy here for another edition of the Mikey Show. Got my wires tangled here. I was a couple seconds late getting this thing on. I had to reset my adapter, Ethernet adapter or whatever. Sometimes it's a little tricky getting on, but I've got a wicked new computer that is ready to go in, so I'm looking forward to that. Anyways, welcome everybody. In about 15 minutes, we will have Gill with us from Capital Audio Fest, and you'll be able to ask him any questions about the shows in general, and I don't know what it's like and all that kind of stuff. Of course, I'll go through and give him my questions and so forth. What's up, Andy? Good to see you. Hey, Tommy. Looking forward to tonight, man. Oh yeah, let me put everybody up. Smoke a lot of Potamus. Cheers, man. Can't wait. You bet, buddy. Andy, our horse trainer, who's going to get his new DAC, his AA DAC, is shipping on Friday, man. So he's going to have a brand new DAC to listen to. He's going to be very stoked. He's going from a let's see. No, did you have new on tech DAC 07? Or was it, or what is it? I can't remember what the DAC is. I think you have a DAC 07. I can't even keep abreast of all the DACs. Hey man, looking forward to tonight. Tommy Clark, our location in Portland, Oregon. Fisher and Fisher 570s and a Jeff Rowland 625S2. Rocking out there. Oscar, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Hey. Welcome to the stream. Okay. So maybe I'll go over the quick news and updates on everything. Last night I sold an MPD8, and then today I sold 2. So all of the MPD8s are gone now until March. So I apologize if anybody wasn't on it quick enough, but everybody's going to have. So now I'm taking orders for March. By the time March comes around, my whole allotment will be pre-sold, as always. So I'll probably take 10 pieces in March. So if you want to get on the list for those, just contact me and we'll put you up on the list for MPD8 coming in March. So that is awesome. There may be, I think I sold the last 6 last week. I think I sold the last 6. I might be able to get some 6s in between there. I don't know for sure. So just let me know if you want to get on. Again, this is not a thing where there's a bunch of DACs sitting in a warehouse and they make $1 million at a time. These are handmade, as you heard, by Andreas. Andreas does the final assembly and all the listening, and he listens to everyone, the founder of the company, before it gets shipped out. So this is true handcrafted Ferrari level. It's not Porsche level where you get 100,000 cars made per year or whatever. Even though Porsche is a great car, I'm not slagging it. I'm just saying this is more handcrafted. One guy, or like Aston Martin, you lift up the hood and there's the name of the guy that put that engine together. The thing is right on underneath the hood. That's pretty cool. Same thing with Andreas. You get a hand built unit. Good evening, tribe. Drago checking in from Evanston, Illinois. Illinois. Did I just say Illinois? I did. Illinois. So welcome, man. Welcome. Yes. So those are gone. Let's see what else is left. One Donizetti's gone. I've got another Donizetti available if someone wants it. They're 14.5. I think I'll sell it for 11 if someone wants it. And it is black, and it is a beefy monster Class AB power amp. 350 watts per channel. Drive any speaker, no problem. And the sonic is on the musical. It's just like one click towards the musical side if we're looking at the dead nuts right down the center. But in 3 weeks, we're going to have Capital Audio Fest. It'll be a great chance for everybody to come listen to the Fisher and Fisher granite speakers. Those will be great. You'll be able to come by there and take a listen to with Alberto Guerra of AGD Productions his terrific amplifiers and DAC. So we will have a great time there, a great time there. So everybody show up to the AGD room. It's going to be in the AGD room. I don't have a room number yet. Let's see if Alberto has it yet. I'll check with him. We'll see what he says, and then that way I can tell you room number. Charles, did I say Fisher and Fisher Granite speakers? My mind is floating. Slate speakers, very important. Thanks, Charles. Very important distinction. Slate, in my opinion, is a much better material than granite. Far better in every way. It's constrained layer, and it's not a crystallized material such as granite, and it is uniform across the sheet. Whereas granite is not a uniform substance. It has different pockets of different minerals and so forth. So one speaker versus the next speaker, one pair of speakers is going to sound different than the next pair of speakers. No two speakers will ever sound the same, theoretically, using granite because of its non-amorphous material. But with Fisher and Fisher, you're getting slate. It's the same thing across all the pieces. So you're going to have identical sound. If you hear it, 370s at Capitol Audio Fest, they're going to sound the same if you get a pair. There is no chance of that changing. So is the Capitol Audio Fest founder part of a mafia you mentioned in your live stream? No, he's not. He's not. He's not in Gary is pretty loose, man. He's a free agent. So he doesn't pimp certain brands. He's not on anybody's side. He's not a dealer. He's not an importer. He has nothing to do with other than he arranges the shows and puts together the shows. And Capitol Audio Fest to me is like, if you're not going to Axpona, Capitol Audio Fest is for sure the strongest. It probably replaced Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain was always the second strongest. And Axpona was really, before Axpona, it was the audio show it was CES every year. That was the only one I ever went to, was CES in Vegas every year. Now there's the small group trying to do Vegas again. We'll see how they pull it off. We will find out how they did this weekend. I think it's this coming, maybe it was last weekend, or is it this weekend in New Jersey? We will hear how well they did, or how sparsely attended it was. I know many people that blew off the New York show. I'm not sure how these guys are going to get traction, but Gary's a good guy, and you'll see. You'll meet him in a second, and he's a good guy and a non-biased. He's just in the middle. He's just a guy putting on shows. You go to the other shows like the one in Florida, it's a dealer putting on the show. So the products that are in the show are sold by the guy that puts on the show. That is, that that could be bias, however you want to look at it. It's not necessarily a reason not to go or anything like that. It's just be aware, be aware of what you're seeing and who's putting it on. And Gary is a free agent. He does not belong to any brands or anything like that. So, hey, y'all, Seattle check-in. Yes, buddy. Good to see you, man. Welcome. Charles Yo, Seattle from Ballard in the house. Sweet. With all the dual mono everything in the equipment anymore, is there much chance of one channel being different levels or anything from the other? No, that is something that they check in final assembly. They test both channels, and they have to be absolutely identical. And that's when they do component matching. You match resistors so that they match from the left to the right side. You're wondering if they change over time? It's possible. They shouldn't. Okay. Resistors should age at the same rate. Capacitors should age at the same rate. If they're using cheap components, one side, or sometimes they run into parts that are substandard, right? So the next thing you know, we got a batch of bad capacitors. I've seen that happen. And then, you'll get products that have issues where they burn out, they get too hot, the power supply gives out a cap or something like that. And typically it's parts that they get from China because it's hard not to get capacitors from China and stuff like that every once in a while. And I can't help but think, I'm kind of conspiracy minded. So I think, why wouldn't they just slip them some ones that failed? To me, China seems like a place like, oh, if they don't really meet spec, they're just going to put them out anyways. If they don't have anything else to fill, like these are the only ones we have to fill this order, they'll just send them out and then let the Americans deal with the problems, the warranty issues. I don't think they really give a shit. So yeah, so depending on what product you buy, if you buy a Jeff Rowland and it's dual mono, no, they're going to age perfectly. Both sides are going to be perfectly matched, perfectly aligned, perfectly QC'd, all that kind of stuff. So it's not something to worry about. Sounds like Gary has integrity. It sure seems like it, man. And I like Gary. And you know what? I have a pretty decent street smart for people. I have a good way of sort of looking into people's eyes. I can vibe people. And Gary's always had a good vibe. He's a good, happy dude, putting on an audio show. And he's just a good guy, man. So just tuned in. Attaboy. How are you, man? How's life in on the coast? Hello from Lion Mount, New York. How long are you staying up there, bro? What are you doing? Dang, you've been up there a minute, man. Mike, do you have any experience with Danley Labs, Meyer Sound, or some of the higher end pro audio speakers? No, I don't. But I mean, those you just named two solid companies that I know about. Like Danley is solid. I've met the guy from Danley, and met those people. They know what they're doing for sure. Like anything Danley or Meyer Sound, I would trust either of those brands. Now you start to get into shit like Behringer and stuff, or Mackie. I'm not going to trust either of those brands. I would trust Danley and Meyer for sure. And then you can get into the club speakers like Turbo Sound, and there's all sorts of these unique speakers that they make for discotheques or whatever you call them, dance clubs, where they're meant to bump techno and house music. And you can play them at very loud and very, they're amazing. And then there's the stuff that's used. The stuff that's used in the club is different than the stuff that's used in the studio. In the studio, you've got Westlake, and you've got, what's the other? Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. My buddy owns it too. Tad, he uses Tad drivers, but they go into I'm not gonna remember. I can't do it. By the way, what is that other one? There's a British brand that goes in all the damn in the studios too. It's not as good as my buddies. And again, drawing a blank. This is something, sometimes those companies make it into hi-fi as well. So they're like pro audio that makes it into, they somehow come over into home audio, but they honestly couldn't be more different. Pro audio is meant to, last the test of time and be analytical in many ways. They don't, and home audio is meant to float a 3D image into the middle of space and make the speakers disappear, and it casts this ghost image. There's different goals between pro audio and home audio, and they really don't cross. So when they bring pro audio stuff to the home, you can kind of right off the cuff guess it's going to be a little analytical, a little dry, because accuracy is the name of the game for pro audio. Home audio, it's fantasy, making it fantastical and beautiful and sort of, a fantasy like. What's up, Joey? Good to see you, man. It's our Bakersfield counterpart, California tribe. Danny, Lincoln, Nebraska tribe in the house. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Dan is toying with attending Capital Audio Fest show this year. Well, do it, man. Like, why not? Why is there a reason not to? It's the best one. I mean, you go to the other ones, they're not going to be as good. They're all sort of less attended. Dallas seemed to be pretty cool. I really liked that venue, but then they changed the venue. which I don't know what the new venue is all about, but that last one was really cool. So I don't know what happened. Kind of sad to hear that. At W, did you mean Manly Labs? I don't know who's at W. The time machine is undergoing a complete rebuild. Okay, he's talking about his truck. His time machine is a step van that has a wicked, Iasca level, system in it with speakers that are on arms that come out, and all this shit to get it perfectly. It won't be playing music until spring, so I can't bring it to Capitol, unfortunately. Okay, well, you go, man. Can't tell you enough how damn happy I am with the Roland and the Fishers. Thanks, buddy. That's what I get continuously. And you know what? I know I'm doing a great job. I know everything with the tribe in the future is going to be good just by how happy everybody is with the service that I give them and the products I sell them. And yeah, I'm going to toot my own horn right now because I do a fantastic job. And I know this by how damn happy people are. They call me back again and again and again. I can't believe it. I'm freaking beside myself. This is crazy. It's so good, And so that's good. Thanks, Tommy. I appreciate that. Sonic Pleasures. I worked with granite in a monument and laser etching business for 24 years. Granite rings when it's accidentally hit, and when we had to hammer drill it, slate does not ring. Yeah, that's totally it. That's totally it. And maybe I'll do a video sometime, and I'll take a piece of granite and I'll hold a piece of granite. We'll hang it on a chain on a little hook, and I'll come up with a little, a hammer and smack granite, and let's smack slate. Furthermore, I'll give it a good crack and let's watch the granite shatter like glass, and let's see what happens to the slate. The slate might chip, but I don't think it's going to shatter the way granite will. So I think slate's a better product all the way around. And I suggest people just listen to it. We've got 570s being delivered tomorrow in Miami area. So we've got South Florida 570s. And he got an AA DAC along with it and a streamer, an MLab streamer. So he is happier than he could ever be. I think he replaced the streamer and the DAC. He had a no, what was it? One of those Chinese DAC things where it's like DAC and streamer together. I can't remember the damn. I'm just I need to take my memory pills or whatever. Not Hi-Fi Rose, but like one of those. What's the other one that everybody has? That's like, $1,000 or something. Anyways, he replaced it with an AA DAC and an MLab streamer, and he's like, I can't believe the difference. It's so good, and he's freaking out. So it was really great. I love hearing that back from my clients. Charles asks, OCD, how much would those white speakers on your back deck bump? Oh, those are nightclub speakers. Okay, so thanks for mentioning that, Charles. If anybody wants a ridiculous deal, I've got monster big level. What happened was when I went to the design table to make something for my company, for Virastar, I wanted to make some speakers. And I modeled them after I heard Mark Levinson's M1 system. Those are $100,000 speakers. They use drivers very similar to what I used. I chose Bema drivers. They're pro audio drivers, which there's a handful of companies out there that use Bema. I think Mark might in his new model. But anyways, very good drivers. So I've got 18s in cabs, in lower cabs. They're dual cabinet design. 18s on the bottom, and then a 12 mid-range, mid-bass, and a wide band air motion tweeter, an AMT by Bema. These things are freaking. I told them I want them to be able to handle 250, or was it 500 watts? I said 250 watts RMS. Nobody plays that loud. Okay, 250. That means 250 program power, not peaks of 250, which most speakers are rated up to a certain amount for the peaks. This means 250 full throttle, 250 into them of good solid energy, and let them play all day long. That's what these can handle. So they turned out to be kind of too much. for somebody that likes to play things loud, that likes to entertain and have people over and bump the audio system, these things absolutely freaking rock. They're ridiculous. I overdid it. I totally overdid it. And I realized later, my God, like I overbuilt these things to the max. They made them honestly can handle 250 watts RMS, and they took it serious. They're very heavy. They're trapezoids. They're painted with white Maserati. I picked like an Italian car. I can't remember if it was Maserati or Ferrari or something, but it's a PPG color. They're automotive painted. And I was gonna sell them for 25 grand. But I've got them sitting there. They're prototypes. They're big. And I'm not going to go into production with them. I'll sell them for $4,500. Again, $4,500. I would recommend somebody pick them up because otherwise they have to be crated and shipped, which would be somebody's responsibility. Crating would cost, I don't know, $300. Shipping would cost, $800 or something like that. So you'd be, say, another 1,000 or so into shipping if you wanted them shipped. Otherwise, just come and show up with the truck and put them in the truck and take them out of here. Shit, give me 4,000 cash. If you pay with anything else, it'd be 4,500. If you come and bring me 4K cash, you can walk with these monsters. They're internally silver wired. They're WBT silver binding posts. I mean, I made these things to the hilt. They're ridiculous. So if somebody wants some of those, just call me tomorrow. My number's on 11stereo.com. All you have to do is go to 11 stereo. Nope, that's not the one. Here it is. No, that's not it. This is the one. 11stereo.com. And if you want to talk about hi-fi gear, I do it for free consultation for, a little bit. Contact me there. The phone number, if you want to call me, is 415-484-5121. And then you can call me and take and you know what? I've got a warehouse, a little baby warehouse here full of gear that is all my private stash that I'm purging right now. I'm purging it. There's just no reason for me to have it anymore because I am now dedicated to my clients. See, before I used to do cables. My business is cables, Virastar. I make cables. So the audio portion of what I did, I was able to play around. So I had my own stuff, my own exploration that I would do, and I could do that. And it didn't matter. But once I got clients, people really wanted me to, they would ask me all the time about gear. And I started telling them what I used. And then they would call me and say, I bought that thing. And I'm like, damn, man, I had to start selling gear. Why wouldn't I sell the best shit I can find? So through all my trials and errors and testing everything, I found the best shit that I thought this is the best audio gear that sounds the most natural, and real and engaging. And why don't I sell it? And so I have all the other stuff that also did that, but that were brands that I didn't carry or things that were like out of production. I've got a handful of things that are out of production. Like if these were cars, they would be appreciating. If they were cars, I mean, some of this stuff is like Ferrari level, and it's like, oh, you got a 288 GTO, it's 1.5 million now or more, So yeah, if anybody would like some wicked speakers, these things will absolutely bury any type of normal hi-fi speaker. They're incredibly strong. They almost make you nervous. You turn it up and you get a little overwhelmed, a little nervous, like, oh my God, what's going on in here? It's great. It was a lot of fun. I have made people a little worried with those before. So it was a lot of fun. Let me hide this. Okay, so let me get back to the comments. Okay, Mikey, what Fisher & Fisher speakers are you and Alberto using Capital Audio Fest? 370s. So Fisher & Fisher 370s. They are a $17,000 speaker. And that, I think they're 17, including shipping. Shipping now is a freaking $1,000. It's gone up, which kind of sucks. It was $650, but somehow it's gone up to $1,000. I think they just keep inching it, up. but I include the shipping in the price unless I shoot you a special price. If I shoot you a special price where I say out loud, like on my channel, that does not include shipping. But if anything on my website is going to include the shipping for the speakers, and I don't. Anyways, no, I'm not going to say that. Don Dietz is to New York City tomorrow for the weekend, not sitting in my chair listening to music. Well, good, man. Get out and get some exercise, bro, and go get some killer New York food. I know you're going to get some good food, man. You're going to have to take some pictures and tease me with that New York food, man. New York food is the best. I love it. Patrick Garrison, look, man, Pat's waiting for his NAT audio. They're getting delivered tomorrow. His NAT audio transmitter monoblocks. Pat was one of the ones that jumped on that special that I threw out a while back. And those 3 pair went immediately. And Pat got one of them. And he can't wait. He's like a kid in Christmas, right before Christmas. And you'll have to tell us, Pat, once you get them hooked up, tell us what you compare them to, what they sounded like, how much more of your music you're hearing now, or whatever your feedback is. I just know how people respond to those amps when they get them out in their rig. Eversolo, that's it, brother. That's what I was thinking of. Eversolo. Dan got it too. I was thinking of Eversolo. And you're thinking of Tannoy drivers. Tannoy, yes, but I was thinking of Tad drivers. And Augsburger is the company that I'm thinking of. Augsburger. Kick-ass Tad drivers, kick-ass studio shit. Like, and I went to the studios that I went to were urban guys, from Atlanta, black dudes that do urban music. And holy shit, these guys listen to music. It's got to be 115 dB in that mixing room. It's ridiculous. I'm like, dude, why do you guys play this shit so fucking loud? I had to go to the back of the room, and even at the back of the room, I was like, my God, I got to put my fingers in my ears. It's gonna hurt my ears. It was absolutely crazy. These guys play their shit loud, and it can't break. So that's the kind of like the speakers that I have in the back are like that kind of a deal. You could play 120, they can probably play 130, and not break. And that is a hell of a claim. Charles, not Manley. No, I was referring to Danley. Yeah, Danley. He's right. It's Danley. They make some unique patented array type speakers, which they call their synergy horns. And Danley makes DSP. That's how I know Danley, from DSP. You meant Eversolo. Yeah, looks like everybody remembered Eversolo but me. Yes. Joseph, I read somewhere your cable reviews. You used to have tubes in your car stereo. Please elaborate. I've got one right there, man. I'm looking at it right now. I've got a new in the box, an NOS tube driver blue. Yeah, they're back in the days of car audio competition, there was a company called Tube Driver that made vacuum tube audio amplifiers. They were vacuum tube input stages and then MOSFET output stages. So it was a hybrid amp, and then Milbert made full tube amps, and they were like 30 watts per channel, vacuum tube amplifiers. But what a horrible place to put a vacuum tube amp, but a car, I mean, it's just all the wrong reasons to have a vacuum tube, but Milbert made one, the BAM 30 or BAM 15 or whatever it was. And I got tube drivers. So I have a brand new tube driver blue, their second edition. They had early ones called tube drivers, and this is tube driver blue, which was their more modern version. And it's like 150 watts per channel. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with that car amp, because the cars nowadays all come, if you get the updated audio system. I used to update and upgrade the audio systems in all my cars. I don't have to anymore, because the cars that I buy, you just get the upgraded system, and it's B&W or it's, Burmester or whatever, some high-end thing, and they sound kick-ass. The White Monsters at 4,000 cash is an insane deal. It really is. Snap it up, folks. Totally sick price offer on cash and carry option. It is. It's retarded. They're retarded. They're almost as tall as I am. They're big and giant. And I'm not kidding. They've got 18s in big cabs, ported cabs. Like, these are bass bins. Like, you can play absolutely at higher, better than most discotheques. They're about as good as you could get. Um, the thing about it is, it's not going to be something that you play really soft and blah blah blah. They aren't hard to drive, but they sound best when they have a little juice through them, because that's when you're really flexing them, and that's when they do the best. Most people think about slate shingles, which are very thin when they think of slate. Yeah, that's true. They can break, but I have etched pictures of churches on them, um, that they came out, which were hundreds of years old. Yes. So the slate that we get is an inch thick. So it's actually comes out of the ground an inch thick. It's very hard to come by, but Fisher and Fisher are the mine owners. And Thomas was in the mine as a child. I'm playing around with that stuff, and he's an audio guy, and so they get the choice, the best slate out of the mine. The thin stuff that cracks and breaks gets made into little pieces, shingles, and where he comes from in Germany, the houses have that shit as shingles. So think about how tough they must be. They go on the exterior of a home and they last, like you said, hundreds of years old. Hundreds of years, these buildings are protected by this slate. So you can get hit with freaking what do you call it, hail and ice. It's Germany, so it freezes and gets ice, and if this was something that cracked and broke easily, it would not be used as roofing and siding material, but it's that strong. So it's really a joke to think that that slate, people like you said think of slate shingles or slate floors. No, it breaks and it chips, and it's like, no, it doesn't break or chip whatsoever. It's a high grade A granite. I'm sorry, grade A slate, which has a certain grade, and it's unbeatable. It's absolutely unbeatable. There is no speaker that sounds as good, in my opinion. So stoked. I know, buddy. You are so stoked. You're gonna have to come back and let us know how the amps sound. I am sure thick slate is much tougher, just like thicker granite. Thin slate can be broken fairly easily also. Yes, sure. Yeah, I mean, it's like glass. I used to make stuff out of granite shelving for audio racks, and I used to ship them. And man, if they dropped those boxes, they would just break like glass. It's the same as glass. So I had to start shipping them in fully encapsulated in polyethylene, a closed cell polyethylene, which we were finally able to get them to not break. But it was funny, dude. They were so likely to break them that I would double insure the slate, or I mean the granite. This is why, like, back in the day, you used to get paid immediately on your claims from FedEx. Now they made it way harder. But I double insure it because I'm like, shit, if they're gonna break it and then make the customer wait and put a wrench in my plan, I'm double insuring this shit. And yeah, so we finally started, we figured out a way that we greatly reduced the breakage. But slate doesn't do that. What makes a GM70 tube special? And why don't we see GM70 from Ray Tubes, Bavane, and so on? I don't know what Ray Tubes is. Well, the GM70 tube is a transmitter tube. So what makes it special is that it's a single-ended triode that puts out 35 watts on its own. The next closest single-ended triode is a 300B that puts out 8 watts. So it's uncommonly powerful, and it's a single-ended triode. Okay, so those two things together make for a great tube. Typically, single-ended triode is the cat's meow type of vacuum tube for audio. And typically, for single-ended triode to sound the best, you want one output tube in the amplifier. So the favorite go-to single-ended triode that sounds so wonderful and all that stuff is a 300B. A 300B is limited to 8 watts. So now you can't play Pink Floyd at breakneck level, on some big speakers with the 300B, and it sucks because you want that sound of the 300B, and you want to play rock and roll or something like that. So you're stuck with having to get horn speakers, or very efficient speakers. Very efficient speakers and smaller wattage tube is a very certain type of listening. And it is not the same as listening to harder to drive speakers with big power behind them. Many of us, me included, like more juice at the speaker, more punch, more power. And so the GM70 is a great solution for that. What I use, which is even, I think, an even better solution, is the GM100, where you can get over 100 watts out of a single-ended triode vacuum tube. And let's see, I took a picture of the rig the other day so you all can see. Here it is. And there is what it looks like. And that is a massive, you can see the speaker behind it. Let me try and get rid of this. Try and get, well, it's not going to focus on that. It's trying to focus behind me. But anyways, you can get an idea. That speaker there is 5 foot, over 5 feet tall, and then there is that's a GM100 right there. That's a wicked tube. This thing is, you can't even beat it. This is the most intense, best sounding vacuum tube amplifier in existence, in my opinion. I don't care what WAVAC thing you get, whatever. We've compared them with WAVAC, and VAC and all that stuff. And this NAT is more exotic, more elegant, better sounding, and it's a single tube that puts out 160 watts of pure Class A single-ended triode. Nothing else does that even close in the audio industry. So it's a phenomenal, unless they have a GM100 in it, and I don't know anybody else that does. So GM70 is very special because of its high output and the fact that it's a single-ended triode. Why don't we see it from Ray Tubes and Pavane and stuff? Because not many people use it in amplifiers. So the better question would be, why don't more amplifiers use it? And, that's to be determined. I have no idea why more amplifiers don't use it, because it's a phenomenal tube. Absolutely phenomenal tube. Really wanted to know what advantage does Fisher & Fisher 670 loudspeakers have over the 570s, other than the dual cabinet? Are the crossovers and drivers the same the otherwise? No, don't you get, you probably looked at the spec. Aren't the woofers bigger on the 670? I think the woofers might be a little bit bigger on 670 than 570. If they are the same, then I would look at the mid-range and compare the mid-ranges. And if those are the same, then look at the length of the AMT. How long is the AMT? And if those are the same, then it's just two separate cabinets. And typically speaking, you can get better performance from putting a bass driver in its own separate cabinet. You keep all that energy away from the other drivers. Now, if it's all in one cabinet, they've still got a divider in the cab anyways. What it means is you can put, with the same drivers, you can get more volume in the 670. So the 670, if it's the same drivers, is going to be higher volume in the cabinet for the bass. So you're just going to make deeper bass because of the volume. And the 670s were actually made, they were the 770. So Fisher & Fisher made the 770s, and then people were like, well, geez, can't you make that without the top woofer and just make it two cabs? That's what we want. And so the 670 was born from the 770, people wanting a smaller 770. The 570 was just, born from itself. The 670 was a variant of the 770 without a top driver, and then, of course, with different crossover. Slate is probably like 1 million years old. It will outlive everybody, that's for sure. Long after the drivers go extinct, the cabinets will stay tuned. That's for sure. Yes. And Revelry, so everybody knows, we will have him on as a guest, and because he is going through a transition, which many people have transitioned out of vinyl from having the MPD8 DAC in their system. I've got another guy that I've got to call Jack, who went through the same thing. Another guy, as a matter of fact, Tom. I've got 3 guys that, because of the MPD8, sold their vinyl. And it's not because it sounds as good. That's why. So in fact, I should start advertising the MPD8 as the DAC that gets people out of vinyl. That'll really piss the vinyl guys off. But it is true. It's the DAC that gets people out of vinyl. And it's because it sounds as good, if not better. And there's still going to be, the texture of the needle in the groove that you're not going to get from digital, right? It's going to sound just as good, but just take out that texture, it's a distortion really, or tape hiss if you're listening to, reel to reel tape. If you like the tape hiss, or you like the sound of the needle dragging through the groove because it gives a texture, then maybe you prefer it. But I mean, Rev is Brent is a dyed in the wool vinyl file man, and he's selling. By the way, if anybody wants some sick records, this guy knows how to collect. Trust me, everything that he buys collectibles. He sold his Porsche 930, but he had a 930 highly collectible. He just sold a Les Paul for an exorbitant amount of money because he knew how to collect, and he's got a handful of other extremely rare Gibson guitars. I'm getting one from him so that everybody knows. I might as well tell him I'm getting a Les Paul from Brent, so I'll have my very first R0, and I'm going to get a little amp, and I'm going to start practicing. I don't care, man. I just love the Les Paul, and I love the way it sounds, and so I'm going to get one. And I'm totally stoked that I'm getting it from Brent, because I know he picks only the sweet shit. So I don't even need to ask him any questions about it. It's like the same thing if you guys are buying from me. You don't even need to ask any questions. If I just tell you it's the shit and it's going to be great, you can count on it. It's just like Brent. If he finds a guitar and he tells me this is great, I picked it for myself, I don't even need to ask any questions. I don't need to ask him what year it is, what kind of pickups, what are the, any of that. I know it's going to be kick ass. So I don't even ask any questions. I'm like, cool, just send it to me. Because he's getting some Nat transmitters too. And we're going to work it in on the trade. Now, if I can just get an amp, that's next. Hey, dude, Mikey, a black sheep. Cheers, bro. What's up, AAE, Audio Acoustic Engineering? Good to see you, man. Welcome to the tribe gathering. Oscar says, inside a Nat GM70 amp, where is the high voltage? What do you mean? What is the high voltage? Around 1,000, right? I have no idea, man. It's high. Thinking of my kid and pets in the home. Well, a GM70 doesn't have anything exposed. So your kid would get burnt. He wouldn't get, like, if he touched it, it would burn his hand. But there's a cover around it. So he wouldn't, and the cover's a glass tube. So he would still probably burn his hand if he touched the glass tube that's around it. Maybe it's not that hot. I don't know how hot the glass tube cage is, but the other ones, like the transmitters, you couldn't even, if you put your hand toward, you can't even touch it because there's a metal, like you saw in that picture. In some of these amps, like the GM70, it's a directly heated triode, so it's got an electrode on the top or an electrode on the side. Some of those, same with transmitter, if you have the cage off, you could get your finger possibly up under there, and then you'd get zapped. A good one, man. So those are not good amps for kids. I got a buddy who wants to get some transmitters, and I'm like, and he's got toddlers, man. He's got 3 of them. I'm like, no, dude, I won't let you buy them. I don't think it's a good idea. Just wait until the kids are grown before you get some damn, high voltage amp. But that's because they have open electrode caps on them, and if the kids pull off the electrode cap, touch it or anything, while it's on, they could get electrocuted. But a GM70, there's no way there's no electrodes exposed, so you couldn't get electrocuted from it. But you could burn yourself because they're hot, just like any tube, a vacuum tube. If you touch it, it's going to be really hot. It's going to burn you. MPD8 is around 35,000 USD, right? No, it should be. It really should be. It's 26. It could easily be 35. But we choose to keep it priced with integrity and at a price where they sell like tacos. And $26,000 is a price where they sell continually. I sell out all the time. It's, I can't inventory. I buy them. I put in orders for 10 at a time. And by the time they're made and they're ready, they're pre-sold every single time. I must have 100 of these DACs out there now. A bunch. I'm the top seller. I sell more than China. Think about that. That's pretty good. So yeah, 26. Digitally speaking, get out of vinyl with the MPD8. Yeah, that's basically the idea. People don't have to if they don't want to, but if they get one, they're going to go, wow, this is so much easier and simpler. And I get so much more music listening done per 1 hour of time than I would with my vinyl rig. Out of an hour, you got to think half of that time is the ritual and cleaning and selecting and pulling out and all that stuff. None of that stuff. You get all that time back. So the MPD, I think maybe a better saying would be buy an MPD-8 and buy your time back. Buy your listening time back. That's what I'm selling you with an MPD-8. I'm selling you more listening time. Think about that. Like, what a dream, more listening time. So it's a dream, Dak. What a dream. You get more listening time. Out of an hour, you sit down listening to music, you're going to get an hour listening to music, right? Maybe 5 minutes out of an hour is the, choosing the different songs on your tablet. But with a freaking vinyl, out of an hour that you're in that room, you're going to get maybe, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, because you're getting up and changing records and doing all that stuff burns time. So if you really don't mind burning time and you enjoy the not listening to music part, then fire it up. I just want to listen to music. And I've said this before, the older I get, the more valuable my time is. The more I want every single minute of time to be filled with experience, not anything but, not work, not wasting time doing ritual and let's get to the experiences. Let's if we got a meter our experience level, like I want to red line my experience level, so it's just I'm an experience junkie, I guess. It's just, look, we only live once and it's a very short time, and so we may as well make as many memories as we can and have as much experience as we can. But the time wasted in between is the thing that we can never buy. You can't buy, you can't, you in this case, you can. I can sell you time, okay, with the MPD-8. And that is extremely rare for anybody to be able to sell you something that gives you time back. I can sell you your time back. You could do a mini wall of Macintosh for amps. Where? In my nightmare? I'm kidding. Macintosh is not bad. I would never own it. Doesn't mean it's not good for some people. Let's see. So, where am I? I have too many kids anyways. Yes. Well, keep them away from these amps, bro. If they're little. What's the light? Actually, an animal or a child will normally be repelled by this. They get close, they're going to feel the radiant heat. An animal is going to go close in his nose and he's going to feel the heat on his nose. He's going to turn the fuck around. He's not going to go up to it. He's going to trip on it. He's going to be like, what is this nuclear reactor thing? A kid, probably the same thing. They're going to probably be wowed by the light, but if they get close, unless they're little stumbly toddlers, then you got to keep them away. What's the lifespan of the Hue? 10,000 hours, 1 year or more, 5 years of listening every single day, an hour or more. That's what 10,000 hours works out to. 5 years every day, turned it on for an hour or more. If you, so 10,000 hours. Marky Mark, there he is. I have to run a 240 volt circuit for the amps you sold me. What wire? 10 gauge solid core or stranded? About 40 feet of wire from panel to outlet. If that circuit is going to stay 240, you only need 12. And actually, you only need 14, really. 10 is overdoing it for a 15 amp circuit. Or I'm sorry, for a 15 amp 120. For a 15 amp 240, you have to realize you're going to pull less current anyway. So you don't need the big fat stuff for 240. And the power goes down each. So you could do 10 gauge if you want, but 12 would be fine. Stranded, it depends, man, what you want to do. 40 feet of wire from the panel to the outlet. So what I did from the panel to the outlet is silver plated copper 10 gauge. Okay. Cause that's what my power cords are. So I ran that. If you want some of that, I can sell you that in bulk and you can just put it in. Yes, so I can do that. Just get with me, buddy. If otherwise, just put, Romex in, put 10 gauge or 12 gauge, copper Romex, that's fine too. it's not necessary that you put the silver plated copper from the panel to the outlet. But if you're OCD Mikey, you do that shit. I run 2 CD transports and the music doesn't end. I listen to CDs all the way through. Wow, good for you, bro. What do you mean you run 2? Does that mean you're loading one while the other one's playing? Is that how you do it? So like you're up looking for music while you're listening. So your brain isn't fully engaged in listening. Your brain is searching for new music. I'm gonna tease you, buddy. You know I'm gonna tease you. No, that's cool. I mean that's great. Whatever makes you happy. That's the bottom line. Whatever makes people happy. Do what makes you happy, because we create our own happiness. Our happiness is within our brain. It's not outside anywhere. It's in our brain, and we create it. Natural selection. Oh yeah, with the kids. I would probably run 10 if it's ever switch it to 120 volt in the future. Yeah, then 10 is overkill for 120. So 10, yeah, 10 is fine, man. And they're gonna, you tell the electrician you want to run 10 gauge, he's gonna look at you cockeyed. He's gonna be like, 10 gauge? Why the fuck you want 10 gauge? Like, that's the first thing they're gonna do. They're gonna be like, you're not wiring a fucking air conditioner. It's funny, but it's all good. Yes, exactly. He's talking about the kids. Just plugged in an order. You're telling me you look for the music. Just plugged in an order for a Capital Audio Fest multipass. Let's hook up. Yeah, buddy. Say hello when you're there. You know, I will be indisposed. I'll have guests, so I'm gonna have things that I have to do. I can see you during the day. In the nights, in the evenings, I'll be at business dinners and things. Probably indisposed in the evenings, but I can definitely hang out with you during the day for sure, man. So holler at a brother. Oh yeah, good. You know what? That's a very good question. Let me see. We haven't even. That's funny. That's funny, man. I mean, Gary never came, and we didn't even notice. You just noticed. That's so funny. Okay, let's see. Gary Capital Audio Fest. Okay. Let's see what he says. I have 8 gauge that runs out to the welder. Exactly. Same way you learn not to touch the stove. Yeah, isn't that for true? Okay, looks like he totally forgot. How about we say come on now? Okay. Yeah, so we'll bring him on now. We'll just have him for a little less. But that's all right. I was rolling. I didn't even realize until Dan said something. That's funny. He'll be on in a second. Yes, so exciting, good stuff. Good stuff. We are building the tribe network in the background as we speak. You guys are going to be really proud when you see what I release. You're going to be like, we were wondering, you used to talk about all this stuff that you were doing with the tribe, and we never saw it. You know, we never saw the MoFi source point 10 beaters. We never saw the, the tribe network. We never saw, and then you're going to see it and you're going to be like, bravo, Mikey. But I'm not going to bring it out in any half-ass form. I am in meetings with, actually, I'm training with private equity guys, man. I'm training with business guys, the guys that structure businesses for a living and then sell them. And so I'm getting high level education behind the scenes. And the vision that we have went from my little vision to a huge, what can be a big nation, global movement. So anyways, okay, so I can see you, Gary, right there. I'm going to bring you into the fold here. So everybody, welcome Gary Gill from Capital Audio Fest. Hey, Gary. How are you, buddy?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Sorry. I'm,
You
I'm
dork.
packing. I'm packing to go to New York for the New York show, but
Oh, are you? Okay, I
yeah,
was just
I got
asking. Yeah.
family up there, so we're going up for the weekend.
Oh, awesome. I'm so
Yeah.
jealous, man. You're gonna get the best food.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know. Where do you live now?
I live.
In Rockville or something? Do you live
Yeah,
by there?
I live about, I don't know, a mile and a half from the Hilton Hotel in Rockville.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So you get decent food, but it's not New York food.
Oh yeah, but we got great Chinese food here. We have great
Yeah,
Asian
yes, you
food
do.
in Rockville.
Yeah, I've got a funny story, man. When we were there last year, it was the year before, we took Jeff Rowland out to go to a Chinese place, and we went to one that was fully authentic,
Uh
like
huh.
fully authentic.
Right.
So authentic that everybody was like, I don't know if I want to eat that. You know what I mean? And we tried
Yeah.
all sorts of crazy stuff. They had like 1,000-year-old egg or whatever, all
Do you
this
remember the
wild stuff.
name?
No, but I remember it was not too far away from the hotel. You had to go down a little bit. Like it was
Right.
a, the driveway was kind of on a little decline. So you went into a little parking lot. There were some things next to it, and you had to go down a little bit. So street level was a little higher, and it was kind of a little lower down. It was across the street from the hotel and down a
Okay.
bit.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
very
There's a
authentic.
whole bunch of Asian restaurants around the area, from Thai to Chinese, sushi, noodle
Awesome.
houses, you name it.
Yeah,
So it's
Korean
Korean.
barbecue.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Yep,
Great
and didn't
stuff.
they say isn't there a new steakhouse across the street someone was talking about?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Texas. I don't want to say Texas Roadhouse, but something like I can't remember. I can't remember. It was a steakhouse that we saw. It was across the street. Someone said this year, "Oh, there's a great steakhouse." But anyways, there's good stuff to be had
Right.
while we're
Right.
there. And so yeah, I was telling people about Capital and how it's kind of grown to be, I would say, and I don't mean anything, but I only way I know how to say it is the replacement for Rocky Mountain. Like Rocky Mountain was always the strongest, smaller of the smaller independent shows from
Right.
CES, and now it seems like Capital has sort of taken the place. It's the strongest, I would say, under Expona.
I hope so, and I appreciate that. No
Yeah.
offense taken, but it's taken. Well, this will be the 15th year, so it's grown
Wow.
incrementally from year to year to year. I've changed venues a few times, and I've learned from other shows and what to do, what not to do, and yeah, I've really enjoyed the trip getting to where we are today.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you've done a great job. It's been great to watch, you
Thank you,
know.
thank you.
Yes. So let's see. We're already getting some things that are somebody's saying, "Hey Gary," but I don't know. He's his name is Smoke a Lotopotamus. So I don't know who's using that moniker, man. But maybe
Yeah,
maybe
man.
maybe it's your dealer.
No, I grow my own.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Attaboy, attaboy. Fired up. Okay, cool. And then we got Mr. Walker says, Gary, why did you stop doing the raffle on Sunday at the end of the Audio Fest? It was one of the best features of the show.
Well, I don't know if that's a compliment or if that's a dig, but no, I'm joking. But no,
I don't even
what
know
I
about it.
have though, when you sign up,
Mhm.
you're in a raffle right away.
Oh,
We
okay.
have we giveaway items. So what ended up happening is that it got too complicated, and it really didn't. We did it to bring more people on Sundays, and it just
Mhm.
didn't really materialize. And now
Mm.
I've really filled the atrium. I think we have about 50 booth vendors.
Oh, you're kidding.
So yeah, so we've grown down there, and it's kind of full. It's kind of full.
Okay. Awesome.
So
Yeah, so for people that haven't been to the show, he's talking about, the hotel is one of those with a big atrium, and it's got
yep,
four sides, and in the
yep,
halls up there you can see all the stacked layers. And then you look down over the edge and you see into the atrium, and there's all the smaller vendors are there with their records, and King
yep,
Rex is down there, and different ASC tube traps, and all the different people have tables and stuff. So it's
right.
kind of interesting and fun to
Yeah, we got a
to
bunch of cable guys this year, vinyl guys, as you said, and 3 or 4 headphone vendors.
Yep.
I got approached the other day You know, there's a relatively new horn speaker on the market, and I'll try to say it. It's a big O with a diagonal goes
Oh
through it.
yeah, the Norway guys.
Norway, yeah.
You know
So
what?
they have this Norwegian Viking. It's like a game they play. They're bringing a big slab of oak with a hammer,
What?
and with a big hammer, and it's a competition who can pound the nail in. There you go.
That's it. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Who can pound the nail in the quickest.
Oh, you're kidding.
And they say that it's only a few inches from the nail, so it's not like you're slamming it. You're kind of using your wrist to bang it in.
Uh-oh.
So that,
Who's got the best wrist movement?
yeah, well, depends if you're married or not.
Yeah, that's right. That could go either way.
Or both.
You could be proud of that or embarrassed of that, you know?
Right, right. But
That's
it's
cool though. It's fun.
And so they're putting a big banner up, and they expect to do it like I think 1 or 2 times a day, and
cool.
they want to be handing out beers and having people standing around and cheering them on. So
Oh,
it should
that
be
sounds
fun.
fun. That sounds great. I love that kind of thing, man. Because sometimes it can get a little stiff and serious, you know. And so anything that breaks that up and turns it into a fun, festive thing, I'm all for it.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Or you just give Matt Weisfeld a few drinks and have him run around and yell and scream and get people fired up. He can do it too.
Right on, man. Is he going to wear his karate gi? You know, we have Hong Kong Phooey show up. Yeah.
I don't know.
You remember Hong Kong Phooey?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
The cartoon.
Of course. And
yeah,
then,
man.
I don't know if you saw last year, Jeff Fox from Command AV, they wore all these like 70s hair wigs. And so they all dressed. It was really funny.
Yeah,
the room was done in the 70s, and they had wigs, and it was beads and stuff. It was fun.
Oh yeah, there you go.
All kinds of cool music.
Oh yeah, nice, fun. That's fun stuff. So, like, I mean, so look, we go to the shows and we just go in and just see everything and expect, like, we don't think about what goes into making those things. Right. Like, what goes on? Like, how, first of all, how did you start doing shows?
I started, as I said, 15 years, actually,
and why?
Years
and
ago.
Why? Okay.
And I was hanging out with, I am an audiophile. So I'm into it. I was primarily into vintage. Okay. And I've been through tons of gear, and a couple of my buddies are into it. Good friend of mine, Ijaz Khan, and also Dave Slagle. You probably know Dave. You've heard his name. Oh,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've met Dave.
So we were hanging out, having a few beverages, and smoking a cigar, and everybody said, "Oh, I think Pierre Sprague was there also for Maple Shade." You know, Pierre's passed away, but there's a bunch of guys standing around, and everybody said, "Oh, there needs to be a show in the DC area." And I said, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it." And we're all drinking, and of course,
you're right.
I was the guy who did it. I put it together. I rented a local. It's a mansion. It was a 14 room mansion.
Oh, killer!
In downtown in Rockville.
And yeah, I think I remember that, brother.
Yeah. So I did that, and of course, everybody took a risk on me. I mean, it was really inexpensive, but like people like Jeff Catalano from High Water Sound came, Jeff Fox, Command AV, Greg Barron, United Home Audio.
Yep.
Let's see. There's a few other guys that came and other audiophiles that I'd never met before, and we became friends. And I just saw that there was a draw, and we moved on. I went to another venue for a couple of years, and then went to another one in Silver Spring, Maryland. And I've been at this venue here for, I think, about 7 years.
I like that venue. It's a good one.
What I've done this year is I've added, it's called the Even Hotel, EVEN.
Oh, across the street?
Yep. They had 2 large rooms. They have 2 large rooms, so I gobbled those up.
Yeah, good for you, man.
So,
independents were going to do it anyways, right?
well, I thought about that too, but anyway, I fill the hotel. I sell all their sleeping rooms anyway, so I figured,
Yes,
why not?
yes, for
Why
sure.
not try it? And we're gonna have
So what's over
uh,
there?
Magnapan with soda. They call it the Minneconsin room. And then there's
Minnesota and Wisconsin. Is that why?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
because Magnapan's from Minnesota
Yes.
and soda is from Wisconsin.
Okay. What's soda? State of the
Soda,
art?
SOTA turntables.
Oh, okay. State of the art. I presume that's what it stands for. I would imagine, right?
So
SOTA, state of the art. Yeah. Cool.
and then we
I love
have in
those
the
guys.
other room is I'm doing a big home theater a grouping. This
Interesting. Okay.
company from upstate New York by the name of Dreamscapes. They're
Mm-hmm.
bringing. If you look at the Capitol Audio Fest website, you'll see they've got 6 rooms and they're huge. They're they're really into home theater. So they're bringing a lot of home theater related brands. They have a large room at the Even, and then
Mm-hmm.
5 rooms in the Hilton. So
Wow.
they're going to
All
be
home
bringing
theater stuff.
a lot of brands, and whether it be large screens or speakers or amplifiers, which everybody's kind of in the same arena. It's
Yep.
just that they have multi channels.
Yeah, no,
So
it's a good idea because it also brings in, I would presume it would reach further, the crowd.
right,
Yeah.
and that's always been. I mean, to me, in my opinion, it's a shortcoming of our industry in that there's not enough families. There needs to be more diversity.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be a mixture of home theater and headphones and lifestyle products.
Mm-hmm.
And Dreamscapes is going to be bringing it. They're bringing from
Yeah.
furniture to racks and stands and different speakers and sound processors.
Mm-hmm.
And we've dedicated all the guest speakers day on Friday is all about different technologies and products for home theater.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Cool.
so that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I'm so out of touch. I would be interested to hear like what is the latest, whatever laser
Right,
projectors and cool stuff. Cause
right.
at some point it does cross for many of us. I just fired up my home theater. It has been dormant for like the last 5 years and I've got a killer one sitting there, and I just haven't fired it up. And I'm like,
Right.
damn, I had some guests over and I was like, put it all together and I was like, this is great, man. I forgot
Right.
all about it, man. Watching movies in
Sure.
here is awesome.
Sure.
Yeah. So it was a
So
lot of fun.
we're hoping to, since calf can't really grow that much. I mean, we're
Mhm.
limited by the scale of the hotel. We're kind of
Yep.
maxed out.
Got it.
So what I'm hoping to do is convey this lifestyle mentality into the
Mhm.
Southwest Audio Fest. So
Yeah,
take it
what
down
happened
there.
there? You
Well,
changed the venue. Tell us why and what
oh
what
boy,
what I because that venue was pretty kick ass, man.
it was. I know we're jumping around, but it
Sorry.
was kind of a sad ending. We were at the Anatole Hotel, which is an amazing hotel. So
Mhm.
right afterwards, we had we say the takeaway meeting. We just want to talk to the hotel. How do we do? What do we need to do to move forward to the next year? And we already had the contract locked in.
Mhm.
So we did the walk, and they said, "Hey, by chance, do you want to see our newly remodeled rooms?" So we went into these rooms. They're amazing, and it's an amazing hotel to begin with.
Totally.
But they felt the need to remodel. And so we went
Oh.
into these remodeled rooms, and just like what happened to Marjorie at Rocky Mountain, they wouldn't move the furniture. So it
Oh.
kind of ruined us. They didn't want to take the beds out. They didn't want to take the armoire and anything else. So we agreed to disagree, and we parted amicably.
That's weird. Would you like to see the rooms that you can't do anything with?
I,
Why would they even ask? It
well,
would
they
be more
didn't.
like, "Hey, we're sorry, we have to tell you something. The
Right.
new rooms they're not gonna be usable for you guys."
Yeah.
But,
So it sent us scrambling.
I
And
see.
as you know, even if you're looking for, say, a venue, a hotel room for a wedding,
Yeah,
you
it's
got
got
to
to be
plan it
tough.
out over a year ahead of time.
Of course. Yeah.
So we brought a broker on board, and we luckily we had communicated with where we are now, the Sheraton, which
Mm-hmm.
is a 38-story hotel in the middle of downtown Dallas. Truly
Oh,
amazing hotel.
killer.
Yeah.
I
So
love the
we're
downtown idea.
oh, it's 2 blocks away from the JFK assassination site, the museum.
Yep.
It's right downtown in the historic district, arts
Killer.
district. It's right there.
Oh, cool.
There's
Okay, so
tons of
that sounds
restaurants.
fun.
I mean, the
Yes.
Anatole was kind of in the middle of nowhere, sort of,
Right.
although
Yes,
in the city.
it
But
was.
the
But
Sheraton
it
is
was its own fortress kinda,
right,
you
right,
didn't even have
right,
to leave, yeah.
right.
But
But
downtown sounds way more fun.
oh, it is by
Yeah,
far, by
yeah,
far. So
yeah, that's cool.
that's what
Yeah.
happened.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. Well, I feel better about it because I was like, "Oh no," I'm imagining that it's, going to some lesser place or that it would gonna lose something, but it sounds like it went up. I mean, many times I wish, God, I wish they would do it. And I remember, some shows would be in downtowns,
Right.
New York or whatever, on
Oh,
Central
yeah,
Park. That was great.
yeah.
Unfortunately, the show promoters and guys didn't do the best job of putting together the show, but the location was
Right,
wicked. It
right,
was like, this is awesome.
right, right.
Yeah,
I mean, is
yeah.
the Sheraton as posh as the Anatole? No,
That's all
but
right.
the
Whatever.
location is better, and it's. I mean, the reason why we're there, it's probably 2.5 times the size of the Schoenberg for Exponent. It's monstrous. It's so big.
Oh, really? The new one?
Oh, yeah, totally,
It's 2.5 times big than
easily,
Exponent? Oh,
easily.
wow. Okay, so it's another huge venue. Okay, cool.
Huge, huge
Oh,
venue.
okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we have plenty of room to expand.
Okay, that's great. So I think I want to make an announcement because Alberto, I was asking him earlier and somebody
There you
asked
go.
me, room is 744 for everybody.
Okay.
744. That's the
AGD.
room. Yes, AGD and Fisher will be featuring that at your show and looking forward to it. Um so okay, so you were telling us, so yeah, so that seems like a lot to pull off. To pull off the logistics and all that kind of
Right.
stuff is pretty crazy. What are the biggest challenges that you have that you've found out how to overcome?
So a lot of it is, well, since I am now, I'm an insider now, but I wasn't in the beginning. So it was hard to establish a show and to get people comfortable with who you are as an organizer, and being able to bring in. It's a chicken and egg scenario.
Oh, you
Um,
froze up.
how many? Yeah, you gotta have enough vendors, and you also have to have enough visitors. Uh, and then
Hmm.
one year you're low on visitors, the next year you're low on vendors. But now I think we have that perfect match where
Ah.
we have about 5,000 visitors at CAF every year,
Hmm.
and we have this year 122 rooms and about 50 some odd booths.
Oh,
So
wow.
which as you said, from record vendors to cable guys to I mean, you have oh geez, headphones, and you name it, we have a lot of
Hmm.
different products there.
Yep.
So
Excellent.
other tough things, just breaking that market, and then people, they want to know about the demographics, and DC is a great market. I think we're right in the center of the East Coast.
Hmm.
A lot of major metropolitan areas around. People drive here, and we get a lot of people, and people do business here. I'm told they
Yeah.
sell products,
Hmm.
so I mean that's a good thing.
Cool. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's always nice not to have to return with your
Yeah,
big load of stuff,
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
For sure. Yeah.
And we have good parties, after hour
Yes.
parties every night. Wow.
Oh, that's right. And do you have some like who do you have for entertainment this year?
Yeah. So on Friday night, I have a great blues band called the Nighthawks.
Okay.
And the leader, Mark Winter, is like I don't have any. I'm not a tattoo guy, but he's got like full sleeve tattoos,
Mhm.
and he's got them all over the place. And He's the guy. If you've ever seen the picture of my personal Facebook page, I have a motorcycle on there, a 1946 Indian Chief,
Oh,
and he helped me build that. He's
oh, do you ride? Are you a rider?
I promised
You
my
used to be.
wife I would not.
Okay,
So I mean, I'm
good for you.
in the DC area. I will not. There's
Yeah, okay.
too many, but
But you're a motorcyclist at heart. You just don't ride right now.
right,
Okay.
right. It was
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
because that
a
never
great.
goes away.
Oh, it's a it's a beautiful motorcycle, and it took me
Oh,
a
you
couple
still
of
have the
years to build
bike?
it. Yeah, I can't sell it. I want to get rid of it, but
Attaboy.
yeah, I
Yeah,
sold
yeah.
one. I have one left.
There you go. And it's a 46 Indian Chief?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a beauty, man. Does it have the illuminated Indian head on the
Oh
front?
yeah, right on the front.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
killer. Those are beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I rode some of the new Indians the other day. We were at a vintage bike race and Barber Motorsports Park here, and there was all the the motorcycle brands were doing test rides, and Indian was there, so I rode a few
Right.
of the new Indians just to see what
Right.
they're like.
Yeah, they're not
Pretty
the
good.
same as the old
They're
ones.
not the same. No,
No.
not at all. Not at all.
No. And then Saturday night we have this. I'd say it's a Django Reinhardt based uh, acoustic jazz quartet called
Hmm.
Ultra Faux. It's a Baltimore based band with two guitars, stand up bass,
Oh,
and
cool.
violin. So it's going to be fast paced acoustic jazz. Should be pretty fun.
Okay.
Like you're in the 50s in France.
Oh, cool.
So it should be really good.
Everybody be swilling the wine.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. And you just mentioned cigars. I was looking for a picture of you for my teaser thing, and I saw you lighting up a stogie. I didn't know you're a cigar guy. I'm going to bring you some cigars, man.
Oh yeah, that'd be
I'll have
great.
one.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
Ken,
collect.
yeah, and I'm sure you know Ken McAuliffe from
Ken, yes,
Stereophile. He
absolutely.
we usually do our interview at the end of the show and have a cigar outside,
Oh,
and that was
nice.
probably photographed by him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. There you go.
Yeah, for me, it's like maybe a couple times a month. You're out in the yard, you're raking leaves or whatever.
Chilling. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yep. Same here. I've got a cabinet there full of stuff. I collect them more than I smoke them.
Ah,
And now I have a little cabinet that opens up, but it's full, and I can't buy any more now. I have to start smoking.
all right.
So I'll bring some, man. I'll bring
Let me do it.
some
Yeah,
tasty morsels. Yeah.
right. Tasty.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. For sure. So let's see what else. So in the main rooms, you've got Von Schweikert downstairs in that big room. You still have the same cats, Akora on the end.
Yeah.
Like,
So
yeah.
actually, Von Schweikert moved.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
he moved, and so Damon and Gary Leeds are partnered
Yep.
up with Alma Audio. Alma is a big retailer in Northern Virginia in the DC area,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, they've got I think 5 or 6 rooms. And
Okay.
so they decided to partner and share some of the expense, and they're primarily on the 8th floor.
I
So
got you. Okay, cool.
that room where they were last year in
Mm-hmm.
819 is now become High Water Sound with Jeff Catalano.
Oh,
So
okay.
Jeff brings a lot of really exotic analog gear, typically.
Okay.
So Jeff will
Okay.
be there.
Okay.
And so I also changed if you remember where the guest speakers were the last few years in the Washington room, that has now become a listening room. So if you know Michael Hotzen, who is
Yep, I do.
the
He's
Magnepan guy,
yep.
he's the largest retailer of Magnepan products in the world, supposedly.
Okay.
He's bringing this massive, I guess they're top of the line setup with Magnepans.
Oh,
So
cool.
he's doing that, and then I hope it's not a failure, but I'm bringing my guest speakers into the atrium, and they'll be to the right of the Potomac room, to the right of Vac and Akora. So I'll have them off to the side, and I'll have Pipe and Drape. So
What
if you know,
speakers? What speakers?
so Vac is the last several years they've been with Akora.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're typically in the Potomac room in the atrium level.
Yes. Yep. I'm familiar.
So to the right of there,
Yep.
I'm going to have the guest speakers. Uh, they'll be,
Guest speakers. Oh, the guest.
yeah,
I
not
thought you were
guests,
talking
not,
about sales speakers.
no,
I'm
I'm
like, what
sorry.
speakers? Guest
Yeah.
speakers. Okay, I got it. I
Yeah.
got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Guest
So,
jeans
yeah.
and guest speakers. Yeah.
Yeah. The guys who talk a lot and show
Yeah.
pictures,
Okay. Okay.
those
Got it.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So they'll be over
Cool.
there. So I
Excellent.
moved them over there because I needed a way to expand. Like I took the 2 rooms across the street and I made
Yes.
this Washington room into a place where people have, great audio.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what else. Those are the biggest changes.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a few vendors, European vendors, that are not coming this year because they said politically they just didn't want to come to the U.S. So been
Mm-hmm.
out forward with that, but otherwise we've got a lot of the same and several new people. Stacks will
Mm-hmm.
be back. Trying to remember a few other. Oh, Revox.
I was
is
just
coming
going to say
back.
Revox. I was on the tip of my tongue, but I was going to let you finish
Revox.
before I
Yeah,
said
Revox.
Revox. Yeah, cool.
So people are excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
So
And is that
whether
Brian? Is that Brian Tucker?
Brian Tucker and also Volker, who is their, I'm not sure if he's the president or the sales rep that comes from Europe,
Mm-hmm.
but he's coming directly and he's got a guest speaking engagement.
Mm-hmm.
He'll come by and talk about where Revox has been and where they're going.
Okay.
So there'll be
excellent.
nice talk about Revox.
Okay. That's cool. That's interesting for everybody that's listening. That's the tape machines. So we're talking about reel-to-reel tapes, like
Yep.
these.
Not just tape machines, but they've got speakers. They have amplifiers, preamps.
Revox.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
And is
They have
that
a
is that a
full-
Studer? Is that a Studer company?
I'm not sure. They have a really extensive website. You may want to look it up later on.
I will. I talked to Brian about carrying that. Brian also is the guy for a couple other brands I sell. And so interesting. Yeah, I'll have to find out a little bit more.
Yeah, they have a pretty nice website.
Swiss brand, yeah. So good stuff. And you got some new guys? Anybody new new guys that it's their first show?
My brain ain't working too well.
Okay,
right
no
now,
worries.
so
But there are some, yeah.
there are some. Definitely, there are some. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
as I said, Dreamscapes is bringing in 6 rooms of all new brands that I haven't had before. I know Benchmark is returning.
Okay.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see. We'll see a bunch. Yeah. So that's great. Exciting, man. I can't wait. 3 weeks, brother.
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm getting ready to send everything to the printer right now.
Okay.
Our show programs, our signage, and we need to have extra signs to go to the Even Hotel across the street.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And I don't want people making the dash across the highway.
Right. That's what I was just thinking.
Send them over to the crosswalk, cross on the walk, and then go back the other way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The street's a little crazy there that
it is.
That Gary's talking about. Yeah.
Yes, 3 lanes going each way.
Yep. Yeah, very good. Well, I look forward to it, man. I really look forward to it. And I appreciate you coming and speaking with us, tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You bet, brother. Yeah, it's good to see you. I look forward to seeing you in 3 weeks, and I'll bring some stogies, and we'll have one or two or whatever, and I'll give you some to take home. Do you have a humidor there?
I do.
You do? Okay, good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and don't forget since we got press and vendors, we have our happy hour on Thursday night.
Thursday night, yes.
Set up.
Yep.
So,
cool.
Food
I'll
and
be
beer.
there.
Yep.
Good. Okay, great, man.
All right.
Well, thanks again for joining, and I will see you soon, man. And cheers. Have a great evening, Gary. Thanks again.
I appreciate it. Take care, guys.
Okay,
Thank
you bet,
you.
man. See you. Bye. Okay, everybody. So that was Gary Gill. from Capital Audio Fest. Great guy. I've known him many years, and always look forward to seeing him. He's always a happy guy, good guy. So let's see what people were saying here. Great to see you, Mikey and Gary, tonight. Really looking forward to seeing both of you at Capital Audio Fest. As Professor Jim. Cool, Professor Jim. Good to see you, man. By the way, Professor Jim is the tribe consultant for radio, shortwave radio, ham radio, anything radio. This is your man. Like, this guy knows all there is to know about radio. Love the Dallas show and looking forward to Capital Audio Fest. Any effort to get 20 somethings there, that's the future. The industry should work on that. See you in DC. Right on, man. Well, you've got my phone number. Holler when you're there. I'll meet up with you guys. Or if you see me walking along, just stop me, even if I'm talking to people. What's up, Mikey and Tribe? Happy to catch another live. Yeah, Jasper. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. So, yeah, I'm going to sign off. But thanks, everybody, for joining. And I will see you back on Sunday. And everybody have a great week. And I will see you Sunday. So thanks, everybody, for joining. See you on Sunday. See you.